You walk through those giant warehouse doors, flash your card like a VIP pass, and immediately your brains, which is into value mode. You see a 4-pound pack of ribeye steaks. And even though it costs $85, you tell yourself you are saving money. But are you really saving, or are you just a victim of the bulk illusion? Welcome to a definitive breakdown of the Costco meat department. In 2026, with food inflation finally stabilizing but grocery bills still sitting at historic highs, knowing where to put your protein dollars is no longer just a life hack. It is a financial necessity for every household across North America. The Costco meat leopard is a high-stakes game of unit price efficiency versus hidden processing trade-offs. That assumption is a mistake. Some items at the Costco meat counter are the absolute gold standard of the industry, representing deals so good they literally lose the company money. Others are cleverly disguised convenience traps that might actually be lower quality or higher priced than what you would find at a standard supermarket sale. In this deep dive, we are not just looking at prices. We are looking at USDA and Canada grade tiers, the microbiology of blade tenderization, and the luxury arbitrage of imported proteins. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 6 meats are worth the membership fee alone and which for you should leave on the shelf. You are not just buying meat. You are buying a membership to a specific supply chain. The secret is knowing which links in that chain are the strongest. Before we get to the specific cuts, we have to talk about the code of the warehouse. To understand why Costco meat is different, you have to understand their business model. Most grocery stores like Kroger, Safeway, or Loblaws operate on what is called high-low pricing. They jack up the prices on 90% of the store and then run loss leader specials on page one of their weekly circular to get you in the door. You might find chicken breast at $2 a pound, but you are going to pay $7 for a jar of mayonnaise to make up for it. Costco does not play that game. They operate on a margin cap. By corporate policy, Costco rarely marks up any item more than 14 or 15%. For Kirkland's signature items, that cap is often closer to 10%. Compare that to a traditional grocery store meat department, where markups can hit 30 or even 40% depending on the season and the cut. Then there is the volume. Costco is the largest purveyor of USDA prime beef in the United States. Only about 2 to 3% of all beef produced in the United States is graded as prime, which is the highest tier for marbling on flavor. Because Costco moves so much volume, they have the leverage to buy roughly 1/3 of the entire nation's prime beef supply. This creates a supply chain gravity. Because they buy so much, they can offer prime beef at prices that are often lower than the choice grade beef at a high-end butcher shop. This is where the value lies. It is not just in the price, but in the tier jump. You are getting a luxury product at a commodity price. But here is the warning. The invisible cost of Costco is the waste. If you buy a 10-pound pack of ground beef because the unit price is 50 cents lower than the local store, but you end up throwing away 2 pounds because it oxidized in your fridge, you did not save money. You actually pay a 20% waste tax. A bargain is only a bargain if it makes it to your plate rather than the trash can. To win at the Costco meat game, you have to stop thinking like a shopper and start thinking like a restaurant manager. You need a plan for the breakdown, the storage, and the rotation. Let's get into the winners. These are the items that justify the $60 or $120 membership fee. If you buy these consistently, the card pays for itself by the end of the first quarter, which is the $4.99 Kirkland signature rotisserie chicken. In 2026, this remains the most famous loss leader in retail history. Costco loses an estimated $30 million to $40 million a year by keeping this bird at $5. They even built their own $450 million poultry processing plant in Nebraska, just a chain, and keep the price stable. This is a winner because it is not just a cheap dinner. It is a base of ingredients. A pro shopper does not just eat the loins and the wings. You harvest the breast meat for salads, the dark meat for tacos, and most importantly, you boil the carcass for bone broth. You are getting 3 meals into quarts of high-quality stock for $5. You cannot buy a raw high-quality chicken for $5, let alone one that has been seasoned unroasted for you. Next on the winner list is USDA prime steaks, specifically the full sub-prime LS. This is the secret menu of the Costco meat department. They are fine, but if you want the real wealth hack, you look for the wholesome prime LS. These are the giant vacuum-sealed bags, often called cryovacs, that contain the entire ribeye roll or the whole New York strip. In many regions, a pre-cut prime ribeye might be $19 a pound, but the full sub-primal might be $14 a pound. By spending 15 minutes with a sharp chef's knife at home, you are paying yourself $5 per pound in labor. On a 12-pound roast, that is $60 in savings, which is enough to pay for your basic membership in a single afternoon. Plus, you get to control the thickness. If you wanted to inch thick cut steak that the warehouse does not offer, you can cut it yourself. You also get to keep the fat trimmings to render into beef tallow, which is liquid gold for cooking potatoes. Our third winner is the organic ground beef, sold in 3 or 4 packs. If you care about meat quality but have a family to feed, this is a statistical anomaly. Most grocery stores treat organic as a luxury tier with a luxury markup. At Costco this season, the price delta between their standard ground beef and their organic 85/15 ground beef is surprisingly narrow. According to consumer data, Costco's organic beef consistently ranks high for safety and purity. It is packaged in 1.3-pound bricks that are perfectly sized for the freezer. While a local supermarket might have a sale on ground beef for $4, it is usually for a lower grade with higher fat content. For high-quality 85% lean organic beef, the Costco price per pound is nearly impossible to beat in an on-wholesale environment. The fourth winner is the pork shoulder or Boston butt 2 packs. If you own a smoker or a slow cooker, this is the highest return on investment protein in the building. The pork shoulder at Costco usually comes in a twin pack totaling 15 to 18 pounds. In terms of price per calorie, this is the most efficient way to feed a crowd, because pork production in North America is so streamlined. The margins here are razor thin. You are often looking at prices that feel like they are from a decade ago. This is the ultimate meal prep protein, white wing packed to be turned into pulled pork. Carnitas in pork ragu, providing 20 or more servings of protein for less than the price of 2 pizzas. We have the lamb racks, which represent a perfect example of luxury arbitrage. If you go to a high-end butcher or a premium store, a French rack of lamb is a special occasion item, often priced at $30 or more per pound. Costco sources much of its lamb from Australia and New Zealand. Because of their massive import contracts, they can offer these racks at a price that is often 50% lower than boutique retailers. The quality is exceptional because the meat is usually pasture-raised and consistently tender. If you are hosting a dinner party, the lamb rack is the single best way to make your guests think you spent $200 on groceries when you actually spent $60. Finally, the sixth winner is the Kirkland Signature Bacon for Pack. Bacon is a commodity, but not all bacon is created equal. The Kirkland Signature Blue Label for Pack is a cult favorite for a reason. Kirkland bacon consistently beats out major national brands. It all comes down to the shrinkage factor. Cheap bacon is often pumped with water and additives, so when it hits the pan, it curls up and disappears. Kirkland bacon is center cut, meaning you get more meat and less throwaway fat. When you calculate the price per cooked ounce, the value becomes even more apparent. It is a staple that handles the freezer perfectly, making the 4-pack an no-brainer for any breakfast lover. Now, we have to transition to the dark side. For every value legend in this warehouse, there is a marketing trap waiting to snatch your hard-earned cash. Here are the 4 items you should think twice about before tossing into your cart. We have the mechanical tenderized steaks. This is the single most important insider secret in the entire Costco meat department. If you look closely at the labels on the choice and prime steaks that are already sliced onto trays, you will see a small, legally required disclaimer that says blade tenderized. This means Costco uses a machine with thousands of tiny blades that pierce the meat to break down tough connective tissue. While this makes the meat more tender, it is a food safety nightmare. Normally, bacteria live on the surface of a steak. When you sear it, the heat kills the bacteria instantly, which is why you can safely eat a steak rare. However, the moment those needles pierce the meat, they push any surface bacteria into the center of the muscle. Because of this, the USDA recommends that blade tenderized meat be cooked to an internal temperature of 160 degrees, which is well done. You are paying prime prices for a steak that you technically should not eat at medium rare. If you cook it to the safe temperature, you have turned a $20 a pound steak into a piece of leather. This is why you must buy the wholesome prime less instead. You get the safety of a whole muscle and the culinary freedom to cook it how you like. Costco's biggest steak secret isn't the price. It is the needles that ruin your ability to eat it rare. Do not pay for prime quality and then be forced to cook it like a shoe. The second item to avoid is pre-seasoned or marinated meats. These look like a Tuesday night lifesaver, but in the butchery world, these are often margin boosters. When you buy pre-marinated meat, you are falling into a salt trap. Look at the fine print for the percentage of solution. Often, these meats are injected with or soaked in a brine that can account for 10 to 15% of the total weight. If you buy a $20 tray of marinated chicken, you might be paying $3 for salt water and cheap spices. Furthermore, in the industry, marinades are sometimes used to extend the visual shelf life of meat that is nearing its sell-by date. The spices and sauces mask the natural oxidation of the meat. You are a better cook than this. Buy the plain meat, spend 50 cents on your own spices, and keep that convenience stacks in your pocket. Third on the avoid list is ground turkey standard packs. Ground turkey is often the health-conscious choice, but at Costco, it is rarely the value-conscious choice. While the ground beef is a stellar deal, the ground turkey frequently sits at a price point that is higher than the weekly specials and discount grocers. Ground turkey is highly perishable. Because it comes in such large bulk packs, you must freeze it immediately. Unlike beef, turkey suffers significantly from freezer burn due to its lower fat content. If you are buying turkey, wait for a sale at your local grocery store. It is one of the few items where the bulk buy does not actually stale. Fourth, avoid the fresh chicken breasts in the non-organic packs. This might be controversial, but we have to talk about woody breast syndrome. Because Costco's supply chain demands massive birds to keep unit prices low, they often source from industrial producers who grow chickens at an accelerated rate. This can lead to a condition where the muscle fibers become hard and punchy, even when cooked perfectly. You have experienced this. While the price is tempting, the culinary fail rate on these massive white meat trays is significantly higher than their organic counterparts. If you want chicken at Costco this season, the organic or dough with the rotisserie, the middle ground fresh trays are a gamble that usually is not worth the savings. To truly master the Costco meat department, you have to stop being a consumer and start being a processor. The warehouse is designed to provide the raw materials. It is up to you to provide the labor that turns those materials into value. This starts with the science of the deep freeze. Most people fail at Costco because they simply throw the giant styrofoam tray into the freezer. This is a culinary crime. The thin plastic wrap used in the warehouse is breathable to keep the meat looking red, but in a freezer that leads to sublimation, which you know is freezer burn. Never leave Costco meat in the fridge for more than 24 hours. The day you buy it is processing day. Divide your bulk packs into meal-sized portions and use a vacuum sealer. iVacuum Sealer is your membership multiplier. It will make your meat last 3 to 5 times longer in the freezer. It prevents ice crystals from rupturing the cell walls of the meat, meaning when you thaw that steak 6 months from now, it tastes like it was cut today. You also need to understand the inventory cycle. Costco does not do weekly circulars, but they do have an internal rhythm. Look for the price tags ending in 97 cents. If a price ends in 97, it means the item is being cleared out. If you see a meat product with that price tag, buy as much as your freezer can hold. Also pay attention to the holiday shift. The best time to buy prime beef at Costco is the week after a major food holiday like New Year's or the 4th of July. The warehouse often overorders to ensure they do not run out, leading to aggressive markdowns on the fulsome prime lest clear the cooler space. If you spend 1 hour a month breaking down your Costco meat, you are effectively saving $100 to $200 in convenience fees. That is an hourly wage of $200 an hour. The freezer is where savings go to die unless you have a system. Do not let your garage freezer become a meat graveyard. Let it be your private wholesale reserve. We have covered a lot of ground today. We have talked about the $5 miracle chicken, the hidden danger of blade tenderization, and the math of the subprimal cut. But as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with something deeper than just price per pound. In our modern world, everything is designed to be fast, pre-packaged, and frictionless. We are encouraged to buy convenience at every turn. But when we look at the Costco meat locker, we are actually looking at a choice: buying meat in bulk, bringing it home, portioning it out. Understanding where the muscle comes from and preparing it for your family is a small act of reclaiming your household guest sovereignty. It is about more than just saving money. It is about being an active participant in what nourishes the people you love. Every time you choose to break down a whole ribeye roll instead of buying a pre-seasoned, salt-injected tray, you are choosing quality over ease. You are choosing to know exactly what is going into your body and the bodies of your children. The epiphany is this: the best deal at Costco is not found on the price tag. The best deal is the extra hour you get to spend at the dinner table because you saved enough money on your grocery bill to worry a little less about the mortgage. The best deal is the look on your friend's face when they bite into a USDA prime steak that you cut yourself. A steak they thought was from a 5-star steakhouse but was actually the result of your savvy and your skill. Costco is a tool. What you need to like can be used to build something great, or it can be a waste of space in your garage. Shop with your eyes on the unit price, but keep your heart on the food safety label. Respect the bird, fear the needles. And always seal your bags. If you found this deep dive helpful, please share this video with someone who needs to save on their grocery bill. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the one meat item you always buy at Costco, and what is the one you will never touch again? Let us start a conversation. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the warehouse.